Let's see how bad day 5 is and see if there's something we can do in here. I'm trying to make a general purpose library, and all we have so far is 2 functions. And I'm hoping we'll get somewhere, because I know there's like A* search and there's a whole bunch of different techniques, things that we use over the various days and answers and stuff like that. And at some point, we're going to get to a new one. All right, Santa needs help figuring out which strings are naughty and nice. A nice string has at least 3 vowels, contains at least 1 letter that appears twice in a row, and does not contain the strings A, B, C, D, P, Q, or X, Y, even if they're part of one of the other requirements. All right, well, let's take a look at what the input looks like. Yeah, it's just a bunch of strings. Okay. 2015-05.txt. Let's move that. Oh. Move downloads 2015-05.txt into input. And now what we do is, what's the workflow? We look for main. No, not main. We look for this guy here. We add 5. We add 5. And then we add 5 here. And we try to build and it fails. We edit this file. And we do AOC Ultisnips. And this is AOC 2015-05. Okay. So I guess all we do then is read, instead of read to chars, now I just want to read lines. So maybe we create a new, oops. Oh, that's right. I got to change these as well. And then in lib, what we'll do is create a pubfun read lines. T as ref path. Yay, we finally get a new utility here, back of string. And that's just going to be let, I guess we're going to split, right? So we can say read to string, path name, expect unable to open file. Then we say split on new line, and then collect. And can it infer the type of the collection? Oh, it's item stir. So now we need to map it to string. Is there a shorter way to do that? Map s.to string. I don't know if there's a shorter way to do this line here. Okay, so that reads our lines. Let's add that. Git status, git add source lib, git commit, read file into a vec of strings. Okay, so now, oh no, I don't want that. I want the other one. The one that's not tracked. So this should be straightforward because all we need is here a data vec string. And then this just says, use AOC lib. And I've already forgotten what I called it. Read lines. And this is just data, read lines, input 2015-05. All right, so that should work, right? Does it build? It does not. What did I do wrong here? Let's look at 4. Okay, let's look at 3. Oh, AOC lib RS. Oh, I wonder if I should change this so there's no RS there. There's a way to do that, right? In the cargo.toml. You can say like that. And that'll break the other stuff, but that's okay. Yeah. Okay. That's all you have to do. Source bin run AOC star RS. And all we need to do is get rid of that. Okay. So run. Yeah, so we're not using that yet. Oh, that's right. Day 4 is slow. I got to figure out a good way to make it so that I don't have to run day 4 each time. Especially in debug mode, right? All right, so the next thing to do in files, 5, is we're going to loop now over the input and look for these requirements. Contains at least 3 vowels. Contains at least 1 letter that appears twice in a row. Does not contain the strings A, B, C, D, P, Q, or X, Y. All right. For S, D in data. Let's do it this way. So what's a good way to do that? I mean, we can look and count, right? Based on a filter, right? D chars filter X matches X A E I O U. At least 3 vowels. Does it have to be 3 different vowels? It just says at least 3. Yes, AAA is nice because it has at least 3 vowels, a double letter, even though the letters used by different rules overlap. That's fine. All right, so then we can just count those, right? Does that work? Nope. Oh, expected that. Okay. And all we doing is how many strings are nice. Okay, so all we have to do is count. Let mut nice is equal to 0. If vowels less than 4, continue. No, 3. It has to have 3. If it's less than 3, continue. And we can just say nice plus equals 1. And then return back format. Nice. Right? Okay. So this is not the... Oh, I don't want to do this. Dang it. Togglebit says you can use any here, I think. Okay, so I'm not familiar with any. Rust. Any. Oh, you need T3? Okay. Yeah. So the next rule, so there's 621 with at least 3 vowels. We need to look for one letter that appears twice in a row. So then that would be twice is equal to d dot chars dot windows 2. I do that on iterator, Rust iterator windows. That's in slice. So it's not on an iterator. An iterator overlapping subslices of length size. So that has to be on a slice. It can't be on a I have to do this way? What does this turn into? Unknown. So obviously it doesn't build. That's also unknown. That's tuples, but I don't want to pull in yet another crate. Chunks and windows. Oh, okay. I have to first collect it into a vec, so I guess that does that, right? That's still bad. So what does this do? That's peekable. Oh, I see. So we could look at the first one and the next one. Okay, I see the zip that you're suggesting, Togglebit. That seems like it also, I mean, if you're skipping... Oh, I see. I see. And then it iterates and then it just... got it. I want I guess speed is not important, right? I was going to say, okay, we're going to stop as soon as we found the first pair that works. Zip should do that, right? For pair in, let's pull this in. Zip d.chars skip one. Let's see if that works. I don't know if this is going to do another borrow, have another borrow issue here. And then we can take a look at what type pair is. It's just char, so if pair.0 is equal to pair.1. Ooh, can you return a value to a 4? Stop, break, stop, true? No, because then you have to end the only loop can do that. Break. And so I guess we just do this. It's kind of ugly Rust code, right? I mean, there should be a better way to do that. If not found, continue. Okay, and now I'm going to go to mod and comment out day 4. Actually, comment out all the other days. And now we have warnings that we're not using all the other days. Okay. Now we're down to 253. Okay, so that's the doubles. There should be a better way to do this though. And then our final check is just not contain the strings A, B, C, D, P, Q, or X, Y. And strings has a thing, right? Rust string. It has starts with. There should also be I'm looking for the Rust doc here. There should also be like a contains or something, right? Sakar says continue outer. Yeah, so I see what you're saying. So we could just stop right there. The issue is here that I want to keep going because I found the pair. For this one, for this next one, I can definitely do a continue outer. Because what we're going to do is we're going to find a string in a string. It says pattern. Yeah. So what we can do is if for bad in vec, and we can just grab all these bad patterns, right? Oops. Right? And then we can just say if D find bad, then we can say continue outer here, right? And then just put the outer. And that'll abort that. And then we have nice, and then we're done. Expected rule found option. Okay. Okay, so I can just say is sum. So it doesn't return a Boolean, it returns an option of the offset that you found it at. That's fine. So if it's sum, then we can just continue outer. Let's try running this. We're down to 236. Let's see if that even is close to being right. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Ashkar says maybe use find on zip instead of for loop. Oh, you mean, I guess while we're looping over all the pairs here, we could also check to see if they're bad. Then we'll have to go through all of the pairs. Right, we can't do the break, but that's fine, right? What can we do? I guess, I mean, this is pretty straightforward because it has all three rules. I imagine part 2 might be a little more complicated. Let's find out. Realizing the error of his ways, Santa switched to a better model for determining whether a string is naughty or nice. None of the old rules apply, as they're all clearly ridiculous. Okay. It contains a pair of any two letters that appears at least twice in the string without overlapping, like XY, or AA, this, followed by AA, but not like AAA, because it overlaps. It contains at least one letter which repeats with exactly one letter between them. Yeah, and in this case, AAA would work. So this is where we could use the same zip there, except do a skip 2. And then this is going to be interesting because any two letters that appears at least twice. So we can still do pairs, but then we have to look for that pair starting in a non-overlapping region. Can find start at a location? No. Let's find, is there like there's a reverse find. Yeah. And it does return the size, so if we can keep track of where we are, which I think we can do. Let's start with this and end with this. We can then grab this for loop and then grab this, and this will be our pair checker. And what we can do, I guess here, nice plus equals 1, we still need that. And this can, so now we're checking the pairs. Let's get rid of that. We're checking the pairs. That means we're going to do, we have a pair of characters here, and now we just need to look in D to see if we can find that pair of characters not in the same location. So enumerate. Yeah. So now we have the offset of the pair as well as the pair itself. But we don't have it as a string, we just have it as a pair of characters. This is slow, but this will work. Like that. Oops. And then now f is a string, and we can just say if find, f.find, if let sum found is equal to f.find, rfind. f. No, d.r find f. Right, we're going to find f in D in reverse mode from the back. If found is greater than pair dot, this is pair dot 1.0 and pair dot 1.1. Pair dot 0, then we found one. That's a little messy, but that might work. Expected an implementer of trait pattern. What is this then? This is a string. So I can't use a string for a pattern. It can be a stir, a char, a slice of chars, or a function or closure that determines if the character matches. If a character matches. Oh. So the closure will only give you a single character. But we could do it, okay, so maybe we can do this as stir. And that's all we need to do. And I'll found. Oh. Index. There we go. And this is not happy. Oh. D is actually the string, right? The d.chars is the iterator on the chars of the string. So I think we're safe there. The problem here is that I have this, so maybe I need to do fstring and then fstring as stir. Can I do that? Or is that going to be the same? Okay, so now we're actually saving the string and then grabbing a reference to it as a string. Okay, so that's the pairs issue solved. Now we just need to do the compare. And that's, again, the same code. Let me say here if odd-bound continue. And then this break is for this for. Okay, good. And so this here, we'll do a let move found and then skip 2. If found, nice plus equals 1. Okay. So we got 69, nice. That's wrong. Oh, it won't tell me if it's too low or too high. Oops. Okay. How do we determine, how do we test this? I guess one way to test it would be to, let's do this. Test fn check should be nice. And I guess what we'll do is, oh yeah, this is hard to do because I'm passing in a whole vector of things, but that's okay. Let b equals vec bang, and we'll just pass this in and see if it detects this as nice. Oh yeah, and when we create a new one of these, it's going to create, can I create this without the, or oh, can I overwrite the data because it's in the same file? Let's find out. Let x equals AOC. New from string, s string, self data vec string. Right? It doesn't like this. Oh, because I didn't have this thing. AOC 2015-05. new from string this string. Okay, so that should work, right? Yep. And then we can just say here, part 2, assert eq x part 2 is equal to 1, because it should be nice. And let's see if that builds. Cargo test. No implementation for vex string is equal to an int. Oh, right, because part 2 returns not a number, but a string. Can I do this? It's a little sloppy. Cargo test. Cannot bar is mutable. Oh. And we can do it over here. I have bacon, right? Oh, I got an unused label. Yeah, all these news are not used, but where's my test output? Okay, cargo test. I thought I could use bacon. Okay, so that worked. Should be nice is okay. Let's check the other strings as well to make sure that those work. This one should be nice. So, oh, I forgot. When I double click something in my terminal window, it automatically copies it to the clipboard. And so I'm not used to that. I have to hit Control C here to copy that. Okay. So let's do this. Cargo watch test. Oh, this should be nice too. Okay, so that one passes. This is naughty. So did I hit Control C? There we go. Let's see. Aha, this failed. Should be naughty. All right, so this is passing even though it shouldn't pass. What's wrong with it? It's naughty because it has a pair TG but no repeat with a single letter between them. That's this test here. Okay, so this is the one that's failing. Let's output the pairs. Println 0 is equal to this, and 1 is equal to this. Pair.0, pair.1. Simple enough. And what do we see? UR, UC, RX. How do those compare to the actual UR, UC, RX? Oh, it is. Okay, yeah, that's right. I just had the wrong value here. This should be naughty, which means 0. Okay, and then finally, we have this one, which should be naughty as well. Okay, so all the tests passed, so obviously there's something else wrong with my code here. Index is greater than pair.0, and we found it. That's right. Oh, and we can get rid of the outer. And the only other ones are the new. Yeah, okay. All right, so obviously we have a test case that's passing that shouldn't pass. Yeah, index is greater than pair 0. I can't, And it's checking correctly because we have this as a test to show that we're seeing this as naughty. The only thing I can think is we're counting it off by 1 somehow. Found is true, then break. If it's not found, continue. We're starting at 0. If we found here a pair, then we break and we increment nice. Yeah. Oh, I should get rid of those print statements. So 69 is the wrong number, unfortunately. AAA is naughty, as Sakar says. Okay, let's double check that. Aha. Okay, good. Thank you for that. That was that's a good clue. Okay, so this. All right, let's print out what we got here. Println index versus pair.0. And this is for the AAA case, right? 1 versus 0. Oh, but it's overlapping. It has to be greater than pair plus 1. That's what the issue is. Right? Because it can't overlap. Yeah. Thank you, Asakar. That's the answer. Okay, so if we run this now, it's 51. There we go. All right. And again, unfortunately, there's no general utility we can pull out of here.